Hey, it's time for another great session with Dr. David Klein of the Stages of Life Institute. It's so great to get the information that we gather in these 10-minute segments that are available in a variety of places, by the way. But it's so great to get the real story on what's happening without, 10 minutes of disclaimers and all these problems. There's been something that we've talked about before, and that's the disconnect between people and their money. And they'll be thinking about, okay, I'm going to set this much aside for dinners, this much aside for golf, this much aside for cruises. But when it comes to their own health, they sometimes feel, or most of the time feel, that that's going to come from somebody else. They don't budget for it, and especially when it comes to vitamins and minerals.
Well, it's an entitlement after all, isn't it?
Yeah,
Somebody
really.
else needs to pay for your health and welfare.
And how much of that money you didn't plan on are you wasting on vitamins and minerals because you love their commercial?
Well, that's going to be the focus of the talk. Okay, the focus of the talk is going to be how can you go ahead and get the most bang for your buck out of your healthcare dollar. And the long and short of it is that you're going to get a losing proposition by definition with your insurance company. Why? Because they're in business to take money from you and give you less back. So it really does make sense. So that is like going to Las Vegas and expecting to come out a winner. It isn't going to happen. Why? Because they're in business to take from you, not give to you. But on the nutraceutical side, it might be a little bit different. Okay, the money that you're putting in, if you're smart enough to figure out how to make it work, is going to net dividends rather than deficits. So what are you looking at? Okay, we're looking at your body's various and sundry needs, which change. They change with age, gender, stages of life, oddly enough. That's where the name came from. Stages of health. That's where my program came from. But as you start to develop these disease states, your needs are going to change as well. So the way I like to think about this is I break the needs of the body down, not into disease states, not into gender states, but into the type of material that's involved. So what do you need? Essential fatty acids. When something is called essential, it means that your body can't make it for itself. It must be received from the outside. Okay, so an essential fatty acid is an oil. Okay, it's an oil that your body cannot create, so it needs to consume it in order to be healthy. So everybody knows about the omega-3 fatty acids. Very, very important. There are a number of omega-3 fatty acids that are more important than other ones. Okay, EPA and DHA being the two most important of all. Why? Because EPA is necessary to maintain vascular health, DHA for neurological health. Where do you get these? Well, you can get these from fish oil, you can get them from olive oil, you might be able to get them from borage oil, evening primrose oil, but you need to get them on the outside nevertheless. Alpha lipoic acid, another omega-3 fatty acid, very, very important. You must receive these from your food. So you're not going to get them by taking an almost. You're not going to get them by taking something that claims to be. You're not going to get them from something that is a second cousin to. Okay, our needs are most closely met by let's say, food sources that are closest to us. We are closer to a fish biologically than we are to a flax plant. Okay, we are closer to a fish than we are to an olive plant. Okay, so what you want to do is to get your essential fatty acids from a food source, a supplement source that's closest to what we need. Essential fatty acids. What about essential carbohydrates? You hear very little discussion about essential carbohydrates. An essential carbohydrate is a sugar, okay? Not to be confused with the type of stuff that's on your kitchen table that you sprinkle, illogically over your food because it doesn't taste good enough without that artificial garbage, okay? But these sugars are necessary for cell-to-cell recognition. So there are lots and lots of people out there selling lots and lots of expensive biological agents. You can go buy, almost super beets if you choose to. You can buy all kinds of crazy reds, greens, purples, and oranges, all manners of this stuff, which are very, very expensive relative to what little they're giving you. But what you're looking to get from these things are essential carbohydrates. Very, very important, often overlooked. But you shouldn't be spending a lot of money on them. A little bit of honey will go a long way for this, as it turns out. Eating a handful of raspberries goes a long way. You do not need to spend a bunch of money. Minerals, okay? Why and what does a mineral do? A mineral, in context here, a mineral in terms of nutrition is an inorganic substance that acts as an enzyme cofactor. Okay, and if you happen to miss these particular minerals and they're not interchangeable, okay, then certain enzyme systems break down and you get sick. Okay, so vanadium and chromium deficiency will lead to diabetes. Selenium deficiency will lead to hypothyroidism. Magnesium deficiency has been associated with almost 300 different enzyme reactions, any one of which can go sour on you. But adrenal dysfunction is the one that seems to come to light first and foremost. Iron deficiency, anemia. The list goes on and on and on. These minerals must be taken on a daily basis, just as you need to breathe X number of times per minute. Because if you take a break from it for, let's say, 5 or 6 minutes, you won't breathe ever again. The same thing is true with minerals. The same thing is true with the other nutrients. You need them on a daily basis because your body has a limited capacity to store them. What's a vitamin? Vitamin is an organic enzyme cofactor. Your body needs these because it cannot produce them. So you need to go to the outside world to get them in. But again, if you don't have these organic enzyme cofactors, your body starts to break down. Neuropathy is one of those things that's so entirely preventable in most people, but it can occur as a result of a B12, a folic acid deficiency, both of which are dietary related. You've got to fix these things. So what are we looking at now? So we've got vitamins, we've got essential carbohydrates, we've got minerals. What about essential amino acids? Okay, these are the things that you were taught about when you were a kid. Okay, you need to have the appropriate protein in the appropriate balance in order for your body to maintain muscle mass, bone mass, and nerve function. So what are we looking at here? So you look at the different major food groups, none of which, by the way, makes any sense anymore. That pyramid that you were taught in school is no longer being taught because it was stupid then and it's stupid now. But in terms of nutraceuticals, you have to think in terms of the major needs, those groups, those functional areas, and then go with those. So the purpose of the talk isn't to simply point out the inadequacies of education, but to allow you to focus your budget where it needs to go. First thing is that of all of the nutrient deficiencies in this country, mineral is number one. So you start there. What does it cost to get a good chelated, that's an organic mineral complex, on a daily basis? About $20. $20, $22, $23 is not a lot of money per month, okay, to maintain your health. That's 80 cents a day. You do this every day. What does it do? It keeps your weight down, your blood pressure down, makes your brain work better, and your thyroid work better, makes your adrenals function, makes you more of a human being. Second thing you need to focus on, $20 a day for minerals, another $20. For fish oil, you don't need to spend a lot of money on krill oil. It's a bit of a hype, $20 to $25. It's a recurring theme here. Okay, what does this do for you? Okay, this maintains your brain health. It maintains the health of your peripheral nerves, your heart, and your vasculature. Essential carbohydrates, you don't need to spend any money on this at all. All you need to do is eat a piece of fruit or two, and you've done your job. Very, very inexpensive way to do it. Okay, so vitamins, B complex, dirt cheap. You're talking a few pennies a day. Vitamin E, a few pennies a day. Vitamin D, dosage 5,000 IUs per day as a start, taken with your fish oil, works out to about $3 a day. So how much should it take for the average healthy individual to maintain their health? About $70 a month. That's $2 a day and change. Okay, that's a little less than getting a cup of coffee at Starbucks. And what do? You maintain your health. Now, let's say you've got issues with cholesterol, another $3 or $4 a day. Let's say that you've got issues with sleep. It might cost you another $1 a day. Doesn't cost much at all. So in order for you to maintain your health, you need to know what you need for baseline. It's about $70, $60 to $70 for the average adult. And then you can figure that you can start adding up a little bit here and a little bit there for each of the disease states that occur. Osteoporosis is going to cost you $12 a month. Not a ton of money. Okay? So this is how you do it. This is how you budget it. And don't go and buy single high-priced items because they're advertised as being really, really good. None of this should be expensive. And it's better that you should give away your money to charity than to waste it foolishly. And people do all the time. It kind of cracks me up. And, you know, it saddens me as much as it cracks me up.
So, folks, you got to shop around. You got to find the best product for the best price. And are you paying for that company's advertising, or are you paying for what comes in the bottle? Robin, how do we get to the nutraceutical store where everything is assayed?
It is, and our nutraceutical store is open during our office hours, which is Monday through Thursday, 8 to 5, in our office in Longwood at 1917 Booth Circle. Our phone number is 407-679-3337, and our website is stagesoflife.net. You can click on the Vitamins and Minerals tab, and it'll take you right to our online store where you can purchase nutraceuticals there also. Check us out on Facebook at Stages of Life Medical Institute.